Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are making these two outfits with the dart manipulation techniques we have learned in previous videos. First I am making this outfit by bringing the sloper we had made for the top and the skirt we had made with cloth hooded rafters. I can put a link where I showed how to create these basic patterns. So as you see in this top, you can see that the dart from the armhole is moved to the center front line. And how it's done it can be seen in the diagram, and I'm going to show you how to do it in cloth. First I mark the point to move the dart to, and I choose 4 centimeters below center front chest line. Then I right click on my dart with edit pattern tool. First I remove one of the pieces because I only need one, and by right click I choose rotate, click on the point, go back to the bust point and rotate upper part to close the dart on the armhole. Now according to the diagram we don't have a center seam at top of this cut line, so what we do is we rotate this piece so that the upper part of the center front line is aligned with the vertical y-axis, and then I change the grain line of the piece to follow this line as well. And how I do it is with the edit texture tool, I right click on the piece and align it with the center front line. Now I right click on the line and choose symmetrical piece with the sewing. Now I want to check my sewing lines to see which lines are missing the sewing. As you see, one of the shoulder seams are missing and the center front part needs sewing as well. I sew the center front seam, and for the shoulder part I try sewing it, but for some reason it's not accepting. So the solution can be easy. We can delete one of the back pieces and create another symmetrical piece. I try to rearrange the pieces around my avatar. Put them in the right position. Now I try to sew the shoulder line one more time. Okay, it shows it doesn't accept, so the last solution is to remove that piece and just create another symmetrical piece by pressing Ctrl D. Now you see the seam lines are there automatically, and don't forget to sew the center back line. Okay, now our model is almost complete. If you turn on the random colors, you can see you have your seam lines, but they are not so visible. We can make them more visible by adding top stitches and prints to these new lines, which I have done by adding the top stitch to these cut lines. For that, first I assign the right fabric to my top parts, which is the cotton Oxford I had found in the Cloth library. I try to pick the color same as our design. Okay, now that I'm happy with the color, I can create the top stitch by going to the top stitch tab, and in the property editor section I choose the uh, top stitch properties. I name it heavy top stitch. I choose the 0 as the offset. This way the top stitch will be exactly on the sewing line. And then I choose the custom for the shape. And for SPI I choose 7 because I want big or long stitches. The SPI means a stitch per inch, so the lower the amount is, the longer the stitches will be. And for the thread size I chose 270 because I want to have a thicker thread. And for the color I just choose a brown. Now how can we apply this to the seam line is that we choose the segment sewing or a free top stitch tool and just choose the seam lines we want top stitch on. And as you see, the stitches are thick. If you want to change the properties, you can go by going back to the property editor and, for example, change the spaces between the stitches to 0.01. Now we can see our cut lines better. And the last thing is that we can add our print, which I had saved in the graphic section. You can just find an image, save it in your computer, and then drag it into the graphic part, and then put it on your pattern and change the size to see how it looks like on your pattern. Okay, it looks good. Okay, our outfit is complete, and we can start working on the next outfit. In the next outfit you can see there are some pleats on the shoulder, and according to the diagram the armhole dart is closed and it is been moved to 3 points in shoulder line. So the way you do it on pattern, if you have paper pattern, is that you need to cut these lines on shoulder and close the dart on armhole and make 3 equal spaces on the shoulder. So let me show you how to do this in close. I'm going to archive these pieces and bring new bodice, the waist fitting bodice we had before. Remove one of the front pieces because we only need one. And then I find the points on the shoulder line by splitting the shoulder line to 4 equal pieces. Right click on the line, right click, and split the line to 4 equal pieces. This way you have 3 points. The way I wanna do this is by using the pleat tool, but how I know that how much the pleat width should be? So one way is that I measure the dart width and I see it's 6.2 centimeters. So it seems like I have to make pleats each 2 centimeters wide, but after trying I saw that if I do the 2 centimeter it won't be workable, so I choose 1.8 and by this tool I give 1.8 at the first point and 0 at the end point, and repeat this for 3 times, and each time I'm making the armhole dart smaller and smaller, and that small remain part converted to room, because you cannot make it 0 in claw with this method. So I'm just adding this extra part to the armhole. And for simulating, first I make this piece symmetrical by unfold and symmetric tool. This way you don't need to sew the shoulder seam one more time. And I do the arrangement one more time. And check my seam lines, they are there. And since these pleats need to be folded, every time you need to fold something, you need to strengthen the piece. That's why I've strengthened the piece and it turned its color to orange. Okay, now that seams are there, I simulate, and you see there's something going on. There is some extra stitches on the armhole, which should delete it. Okay, now if you simulate again, you see your pleats are on the shoulder line, very nicely folded. Now we can assign our fabric to the pattern pieces. And change the color based on the color we would like to have. And now we can unstrengthen the piece. This way it will show the actual texture of the fabric, and to make it more realistic, we can reduce the particle distance to 10 for upper body. And I see the shoulders line, I see the shoulders are a bit too long. I can reduce 1 centimeter from front and back. Here I am changing the particle distance to 10. I'm not very happy with the colors, so what I wanna do, I have found a painting in the internet, and I wanna pick the colors from here. Okay, our outfit is complete, and this way we have moved the dart. Actually we have changed the armhole dart to pleats. In the shoulder we can also move this dart as pleats to the neckline or other parts of the dress or top we are making. Thank you for watching this video, and I see you next Saturday, and we will work on making basic pattern for skirts and pants with Bunka method.